The space aliens.
The Aurora.
The Aurora is supposed to be the night.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a G6. Like the
Leslie has a joke.
like the car. My sister had one of those. I'm curious.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So chatty. I love it. Please help yourself to as many donuts as you want and coffee, of course. We're celebrating. We made it over 300 members. So we're very excited. Yay! So we'll announce those coming up, but we will get started right away. So we're gonna welcome up Marie right away, and you just get us rolling. So we don't mess around. Perfect. Good morning, everybody. So my name is Marie Ashland, and I work with Mojave Aqua Head Start. And I just wanted to come and visit with you guys a little bit. We have a child care collaboration with the city, and I just wanted to come and visit about that, share some information, answer questions, and hopefully get your guys' support in getting the word out that we have the child care collaboration with the city and we're looking for providers. So I do have a flyer. We've updated the information with it. It's on the Chamber Facebook, I believe, already. So it's circulating. I would love it if anybody would want to share it on their personal Facebook. And this is the copy of the flyers. A little bit about the collaboration. And I'm glad you're hearing that because I think it started in like 2021 that we collaborated together.
I think so.
The city purchased the old Kalina Child Care building. Again, we were familiar with that building on 5th Street and partnered with Mojave Aqua. We rent it from the city. And the last several years, we've had 2 Head Start child cares there. This last year, we did do a change of scope with our Head Start program. So now the child care will have 1 Head Start child care provider and then 1 family child care provider. They're both individually licensed providers. They obtain their own license. They're contracted to self-employed and run basically their own business. The Head Start provider, of course, has to align and follow Head Start procedures. Their children are all enrolled in Head Start. There's some differences as far as enrollment between the 2. The child care provider would set their own rates, set somewhat of their own hours within a contract with Mojave Aqua, enroll their own families, their own policies. So that's kind of a really quick overview of it. I don't know if any of you have any questions, if any of you are familiar with the site, how many of you are familiar with the site? It's a beautiful spot right next to the city park. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of looking for support. I showed it to somebody yesterday, so we do have it posted also on Indeed that they're looking for someone to do it. And I know I've been hearing and then while talking to people rumblings that it's hard to work with Head Start. There's a lot of extra pieces involved. So even if anybody has questions as far as what that looks like, I can answer some of those questions. The rent is super affordable for both locations. The Head Start provider would only pay $150 a month for rent. And the Head Start location would be ideal for somebody who loves children, is kind of like, do I want to do child care? Do I not want to do child care? We provide everything for the Head Start location. It's fully furnished. We have all the toys. We provide everything from the toys to the furniture to the dishes, sheets for the cribs, cots for rest time, outdoor equipment. If it's somebody coming in who doesn't have an early childhood education but
somebody who's really interested in childcare. We ask for a commitment. It is a lot of work, and we do put a lot into it, so we do ask for a commitment from the person to stay and work through, really learn the pieces, be committed to stay there. The non-Head Start childcare provider with K. See, I'm catching myself. I haven't had enough coffee. I want either $300 or $350 a month rent to Mojave Aqua. And then they would have to provide their own furnishings, toys, pieces like that. There is outdoor equipment, enough outdoor equipment for both sides, so the non-Head Start provider definitely would have access, because I wouldn't want to take all of that away and have very limited outdoor toys and equipment for the non-Head Start provider when there's all this fun stuff on the other side of the fence. So there are some things that can stay with the non-Head Start provider. So, yeah, does anybody have questions that they want to ask? If you've heard any like rumblings in the community that you're curious about? If my contact information is on here, and so is our operations manager's information. And like I said, I would love it just to be assured out in the community that we have this great location. We get lots of support, both through a concert and non-Head Start provider. We get lots of support. I've had some interest. I mentioned to Nick this morning. I did show it to somebody yesterday. They don't live in Perham, so I'm not sure what they'll decide, but they did really like the space. So there's some interest out there, but yeah, I'd like to get it full and lots of kids in there playing again. So definitely reach out if you have questions.
Thank you so much for coming. All right, Katie, do you want to come up and share about the Perham Center for the Arts?
Sounds good. Hi, everybody. My name is Katie Henniger, and I'm here on behalf of the Perham Center for the Arts as the executive director. I'm also a local business person, if you don't know me, but I feel like I know almost all of you, so I'll make this quick. Just a quick update on the Center for the Arts. We're becoming a very busy location. We remodeled about 2 years ago with the hope of this, so it's been exciting to see us blossom into a little bit more of a very full building. We get used approximately 25 days out of every month. We are filled with Just for Kicks Dance, the Cub Scouts, Perham Township, and also Girl Scouts group that meets a couple times a month as well. So those are our kind of standard renters that are there all the time. We also rent to just about everybody. So in October we held 2 weddings. We also hosted Perham Health for kind of an out day of education. So it's kind of like sky's the limit. We are very much a open rental where you do a lot of the work, or you can pay us to do some of the work for you as well, as far as setup and those types of things. Where we see growth and where we get to have the fun stuff is with the events that we sponsor. So coming up, the weekend of Thanksgiving, we will be hosting pottery painting. This is a fun event. It does not take skill, so don't worry about that. You come in, the pieces are already ready to go, you just paint them. And I promise you, they'll turn out amazing. She takes them back, fires them, so that they come back looking all shiny and bright. You actually can pick up those pieces at my shop downtown about a week after. So it's gonna be a holiday theme for that one. Then, the week after, we'll be hosting our Candlelight Christmas concert. Last year was our first year for this event. We feature local talent. It's kind of a fundraiser for us. This is one of our few ticketed events of the year. Tickets are only $12 in advance, $15 at the door. They are available here in the chamber office or at my shop, a window quilt shop, or you can go online and purchase an e-ticket there. Everything is candlelit, so you come on in. Gathering Grounds will be there that evening from starting at 6 o'clock. They will have drinks and snacks available for purchase. Sit, mingle for a little bit. The show will start at 7. We'll dim the lights. Everything will just be lit by candlelight. It takes about an hour, hour and a half, depending on how many arms I can twist to perform. So I'm still working on that. So we have a good lineup so far. And all ages. I just convinced Sam Dale to play the drums. So I'm super excited about that. So we're going to have some fun with that. And then, give us another week, and we'll be set up for a Christmas market. Last year was our first year for that as well. And, you know, I used to run the Perham Christmas Plus Bazaar at the schools. So I'm really happy to go from like 120 vendors that I was in charge of to about 30, which is lovely. Actually have nightmares sometimes still about right before that big event happens. I'm so glad the lap swim team took over. So we'll have about 30 different vendors that day. We've expanded so much that we'll have vendors upstairs and now also downstairs. And that's just kind of a fun last minute, do your holiday shopping in a fun, unique environment. Very unique people, which I'm excited about. One of the people that are gonna have a booth is our clay club. So we have a club that meets throughout the week. They pay a monthly fee to help us cover the extra electricity that they use from using our kiln. And they are going to be selling some of their pieces as a fundraiser for their club because they have some wants. They want some better equipment for some things. So you can come out and buy some clay pieces and support them as well. Any questions from you guys at all on the Perham Center for the Arts? Okay. I will say this, moving forward, we are still in development phases for the parish house. That is the building that the priest used to live in. That sits next to our building. It needs a little remodel. We're slowly working on that, but we would love any insight the community has on what they would like to see it become. If you see a need for something that could be used in that space, we want to get past just renting it to a family to live in it. Something that maybe the community doesn't have that you think could work in that space, you can reach out.
Katie, is the capital campaign part for the cultural center, is that all done?
All done. So we have an elevator entrance, on the left side of the building, and we now have a sign that tells you where it is. We're working with JH Signs. We have 2 more signs coming. So that's also kind of been, it's like little bits and pieces are finally coming together. And if you've known about our building for a long time, Fran Johnson was kind of the cheerleader that started it all. And so I think it's nice, she's retired from our group, but it's nice for her to kind of see, I think, some of these little pieces finally coming together, like signage, and utilizing almost every square inch of the space. We had JC Electric there yesterday trying to add one more electrical outlet, because now that we keep renting it, people are like, where can I plug in my crock pot? I'm like, we're running out of space, but as you can imagine, in an over 100-year-old building, our electrical panel is also very full, so we have some other challenges coming up in the future.
Katie, do you guys have receptions in there too, which is weddings?
We do. Well, the last 2 did both. So the first wedding was actually a couple from the cities who vacationed here, who decided to have their wedding here. So they did all in an all-in-one, and that's where I say we're very cheap for rental, but all of the work lies on you. So they had an army of friends that after their wedding, they took everybody downstairs for a little social hour to completely transform their upstairs into their reception space as well.
What's the kitchen?
It's not a usable kitchen, so everything has to be brought in by the people. That's where I said the crock pots come in handy a little bit. If people want to do that, they definitely sign off on a waiver that if they're bringing their own food, that's their responsibility. But otherwise, caterers have used, obviously they bring everything in ready to go. So a lot of caterers have used the space for that. As we have coming up, grad parties have become a popular option as well because we already have all the tables. We even have black tablecloths, so we're on theme for that for you. And then you don't have to rent any of those types of items, bring in your own food. We're working out the kinks, I will say that. Actually, my cousin just booked it for a wedding next year, and she thinks she wants to do everything. So we'll see how that all goes. At least it's family, right?
Yeah. Do you guys have pictures on your website of, I know you've had only a couple weddings, but
Yeah.
like, are you adding to that? I haven't.
So far, I haven't asked the bridal parties for pictures at this point. They've been pretty small. But yeah, I think even on Facebook we will more. It's harder with us to change pictures on our website, except for on like our event page, to just add in like our events. So otherwise we have to pay early for changes. So yeah. Yeah.
And does Perham Center for the Arts still facilitate like the Pioneer Grounds and ITO or anything to do with that?
We don't. There was talks to do that probably 4 years ago to try to like collaborate those efforts. And we found that we were very different in what we offer. I will say that there are talks to work better with the auditorium to try to coordinate those efforts more so, because I feel like we align a little bit closer to what we would be offering. But yeah, we're never against any of that. It just, there hasn't been a need to collaborate on anything. That brings me to a good point, Tim. We do have an open board position. So if anybody would like to join our board, we're a very low-key board. We meet about 4 times a year and then do a lot of email communication for approval on things as well. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Katie. Ooh, yeah. Oh, it's not moving.
printers on the fritz, and my computer didn't want to cooperate with the other printer, so here we are, have not very many things to hand out today, but Giving Tree is an opportunity for area children, so for Perham School District, an opportunity to experience Christmas who might not otherwise be able to, their families might not be able to afford that. So the families will fill out an application. That's due by November 21st at the United Community Bank. We're doing a little bit different. Our office with Love Inc. moved over to Otter Tail. We still serve the area, the greater East Otter Tail County area, but we were growing, so we needed more space. But the applications can be returned to the United Community Bank Monday through Friday. Their bank hours, the last day is November 21st. After that, all the cards for the children, information that's put on them, which we ask, parents' name, phone number, address, things like that, so we can be in contact with them. But each child, we ask the parents put their sizes of their clothing, different types of clothing, shoes, coats, pants, things like that, and then a few Christmas wishes. Tried to change the wording, and we noticed last year a couple of things were just like needs listed underneath the Christmas wishes, so we tried to make it a little bit more clear this year. Put something fun on there for your kids if you know anybody who's filling out these applications. People want to spoil them. But mainly so there's applications there. If you know somebody who could definitely benefit from that, please take them. Otherwise, and maybe we're going to talk about if you are interested in shopping for these children. So all this information is confidentially transferred onto individual cards that will be placed on Christmas trees at the various churches throughout town. We may have some extras left over. We'll be posting on our social media. Hey, come and get them at this location. If we have any left over, reach out to the chamber. Maybe send out an email blast. Hey, we still have cards. Cards will be available until December 5th. We're hoping to have most of the cards already out before Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. We noticed that in previous years, everybody wants to get those really good deals. That's kind of gotten by the wayside, so I'm not sure, but still support local. Small Business Saturday is a great time to do that. The gifts that will then be returned, wrapped, by December 15th to the United Community Bank. We will then assemble them into their family groups because each child gets their own card. Super basic lettering. Maybe family A has 3 kids, so it's A, 1, 2, 3. We try to group them together, and we'll have a pickup day for each one of the families to come in and collect their gifts. Last year we served 195 children, and out of 63 families, we were able to, thank you to generous community donations of monetary gifts, we were able to assemble a meal box. Amor Pork helped out with that. Our YAP helped out with that. KLN, everybody just kind of pulled in and helped us get a really great deal and get these families a really nice meal box. Yeah, that's like a whole entire spiel. I get nervous in front of people. I know it's not good, but
You're doing great.
Any questions about Giving Tree?
What churches are you going to have them at?
So the Perham and Dent School District area churches. So I know for sure like New Creation, Calvary, Cross Point, kind of have a right part, Northwood, St. Henry's. Everybody's going to have a Christmas tree. And if you cannot make it into a church, you can probably give their office a call or give Love Inc.'s office a call. And I'd be happy to set some aside for you specifically. I know like the Perham High School has a couple of groups of students that go, they all come and do it as a group. The girls sat in my office last year and they looked through the cards and were like, oh, I want a teenage girl. I want a little one. I want to shop in the Legos. So they looked through each one of the cards, they chose which ones they wanted, and they went out as a group and they shopped. So yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Any other questions?
Is every card filled?
Every card was filled last year, and most of them have been filled in previous years. Last year was a little bit lower because it was our first year taking over from the Sheetses, who had done it for 29 years, so we switched things around a little bit. We're expecting that number to go a little bit closer to the numbers they had, which was like 370, I think, the year before we took it over. So if, additionally, there would be an opportunity for us to need shopping volunteers if not all the cards are picked up.
We like to shop.
I volunteer.
Oh, you volunteer? Yes.
Oh, we got another shop.
I was gonna say, and it's not,
I'm really good
it
at
doesn't have to be with your money either, because we do receive monetary donations as well. If you do feel led to give financially towards this, if you just don't have the time to shop, or you don't know how to shop for small children, you can make a check payable to the Giving Tree or Giving Tree and mail it to our office. There's a separate account from Loving that we have dedicated specifically for Giving Tree.
Is there a certain dollar amount you spend or whatever?
The suggested dollar amount is $45 to $50. I will be honest, I do find that people typically spend more than the recommended amount. It's not a requirement, but it's just kind of a recommendation that each child is, so that way one child out of the family isn't getting like extraordinary gifts, and the other one's getting like feeling left out or a little less important, if that makes sense. I know we've had groups to try to make sure that they shop all for the same family. We want all the same family members, so we can wrap them all in the same paper, or we can make sure each of the kids are taken care of. Awesome.
Okay.
If you have any questions, grab a contact her. I'd be happy to help you.
Thank you so much. All right, ladies. Here's some of our newest members, Revive and Thrive.
You don't get to look at a baby the whole time.
I know.
Marty, pay attention sometimes.
All right, well, we can start with introductions. I'm Lisa Yonker. I'm the physical therapist and owner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
there you are.
Woo!
Okay.
Oh, go back one.
Oh, you want to go back?
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm the physical therapist and owner. I'm a 2015 graduate from UND. My family and I moved to Huron last summer. We've had a place on Big Pine since 2020, and we just decided we wanted to raise the kids in a smaller town, so here we are. I've worked in neurogeriatrics pretty much my whole career, both in private practice and at Stanford and Fargo. And so that's really what we specialize in at Revive and Thrive, is working with neurogeriatric patients.
And I'm Tina McDonald. I'm the occupational therapist. And I know quite a few of you. I was not born here, but moved here when I was 3 months old. Graduated from Perham High School in 1991. We moved away for a while, different places. We moved, my husband and my 2 girls, and moved back here in 2017 and built a house on Little Mac Curves area. And I worked in Fargo, and still working in Fargo, for 25 years now in neurogeriatric type care, and that's where I met Lisa. And she said, hey, we have a cabin on Big Pine, and we're thinking about sometime relocating to Perham. Yeah, great, that would be awesome. She said, would you ever want to start a business? And I said, yeah, I'd work with you there. So that all came to fruition, and here we are.
Yeah, we first started talking about it, like a year or 2 ago, I feel
Yeah,
like, and I was
maybe.
like, I know we're moving, I'm not sure when, but I'll let you know.
So, yeah, Lisa's really taken the reins, and then I'm just kind of her sidekick and see how busy we get.
So let's talk a little bit about what physical and occupational therapy looks like, especially for neuro and geriatrics. From a PT perspective, a lot of what I do is working on fall prevention. So think of a patient after they've had a stroke, spinal cord injury, brain injury. They're usually not walking and moving around very well. And so what I'll work on is helping them relearn how to walk, regain their balance, and really prevent falls and just help them move around a little bit better. And we can do that by strengthening, working on balance activities. We have a lot of fun in the clinic. We'll play a lot of games with patients and things like that too.
So OT, what we do is what we call activities of daily living. So that's just things that we all do, similar, like we all get dressed, we all eat food, but then it's individualized too. So like Katie does Centers for the Arts. So the things that she's passionate about, I would look at her if she had some type of a disease, injury, and we'd say, how can we make Katie's life the way the closest that it was before want her to be as safe and independent as possible. I do a lot with home modifications, so a big passion of mine is aging in place. And I can give a quick example. When I was early on in my career, I was doing some student work in Florida. I went to grad school at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale. And I went to do a home visit, and this older, very old gentleman, he was probably like upper 90s, lived in this little house, and he didn't have any adaptive equipment to keep him safe. And he had stacked boxes and magazines and books from his recliner chair to his bathroom and his bedroom. So when I asked him to go into the bathroom, he got up and he was balancing himself on these boxes as he was walking through the bathroom. In the bathroom, I kid you not, he had a rusty turkey roaster pan turned upside down in his bathtub, and he was using that as a shower chair where he would crawl over the tub and then sit down on this rusty turkey roaster. So we got him like a shower chair, we got grab bars, we got him a walker, we made his space accessible. He was happy as a clam and very safe. So that's just one small snippet of kind of what we do. More recently, all the neuromuscular clinics in Fargo that I've worked at for 25 years, we do ALS, Parkinson's, MS, brain injury, spinal cord injury. That stuff is a little bit more involved. So for example, somebody with ALS, as they progress with their disease, they lose all ability to move. The only thing that's reserved is their eye motions usually. So by the end, they're doing eye gaze for their wheelchair and things like that. So as you can imagine, their home needs a lot of modifications, and as they change, so when they come to see us one day, they might need this, and this, but maybe 2 weeks later they've progressed, and we have to get rid of all that and bring in a whole new set of things that they need for their caregivers to take care of them. So there's lots of different levels, lots of different diseases, injuries, that type of thing.
If you want to move to the next slide, I think I have listed them on the next one. So it's kind of a combination of, think of injuries that a patient might rehab from, like stroke, spinal cord injury, brain injury, and then also different disorders that are more like progressive diseases that are lifelong, like Parkinson's disease, MS, ALS, like what Tina described. And especially specifically with Parkinson's and MS, a lot of research has really shown that participating in PT and OT can slow the progression of disease. So our goal is really to try to get people started on some sort of therapy program early on in those diagnoses so that we can prevent them from getting worse later on, or at least slow the progression of the disease in that regard.
And I'm a hometown girl, and I didn't really want to compete with the hospital and the therapy there too, because I know that they provide a valuable service. But I think where we come in is that we can do outpatient in the home. So at Perm Health, when I worked there, you had to be homebound in order to go in, for therapists to go in and do stuff. So I got a call from the VA a couple months ago, and Perm Health was unable to go into the house because he was not homebound. They said, hey, would you ever go in and do a home safety eval for this veteran? And yep, I said, we can do that, did that. And then we can go, if somebody can't come to the clinic, but they're not really homebound, we can do therapy in their house. I also feel very passionate about doing therapy in people's homes because that's their environment. You can simulate environments in the clinic, but unless you're really in their home, they're not really learning how to do it the best way they could do it.
And for a lot of elderly patients, it takes so much energy just to get out the door of their home and into the clinic, but by the time they get there, they're just spent. And so we feel like offering this service for patients in their home can really just meet them where they're at. And we'll serve the Perham area, even like, some of the smaller towns within 10, 15 miles of Perham. I've got somebody in Our Tail right now. We'd certainly go to like Frazee and Mills too for this outpatient in the home service. And then other extras that we provide, because of our experience in Fargo, do wheelchair assessments. So we have a vendor that we'll work with for patients that need custom wheelchairs, whether that's somebody with ALS, spinal cord injury, and that's something that we've had lots of experience with in our careers so far.
One home visit that Lisa did she ever saw, wanted to try a platform walker, and she has one. And the gal called and said, well, I don't have a ride, I can't get there. And she said, well, I'll come to you.
Right, right. Sometimes those rides can be the barrier too, you know. A relative works during the day, it can be hard to get off to go bring them to therapy, and we can just kind of meet them where they're at. Yeah. All right, so to sum up, you know, we talked a lot about the neuro and geriatric services we offer. We do also treat patients that have orthopedic injuries. Tina does hand therapy as well. But our goal is really to offer these specialized services to the Perham area. From both of us working in Fargo, we know that there's a number of people in the General Lakes area that will drive to Fargo a couple times a week for these services. And so our goal is to try to treat people here, prevent them from having to go to Fargo, and offer some of these things that aren't offered here otherwise. This is our new clinic space. I know some of you came to our open house, but we've got like a small gym area and a couple of private treatment rooms as well that has plenty of space to work with patients on whatever their goals are for therapy. Does anybody have any questions?
We're gonna hope to go out too and do some talks kind of on what our services are to some local groups. My aunt, Pat Holber, is pretty involved with a lot of the senior groups, and so she's got a list that she wants me to go talk to people, but we haven't really done a lot of marketing, just kind of word of mouth. And
We've been open for a little over a month.
yeah.
We're pretty there yet.
But we're hoping to help more people out. So.
I have business cards. If anybody wants a card at the end, I can sure give you one too.
Any questions?
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, so we just want to do a little announcement. Like I said, we're over 300 members, so we're very excited about that. Number 300 was ULB. They're in Ottertail. That's Kenny Nelson's luxury golf carts business. So he was kind enough to, he heard we were at $299. He goes, ultimate luxury vehicles. Yes.
Yeah, they don't have.
So he heard we were at
Golf
$299.
bag
He's
spots.
like, well, I have one, and so we signed him up. So that was awesome. And yesterday we got number 301, which is Pro Skins and Design. So he has several businesses. He has the detailing, stained glass, and then wraps, signs, logos, banners, stuff like that. One man show. He's been doing it for over 20 years. He says mornings. He couldn't make it this morning because he doesn't do mornings, so I kind of giggle at that. So he says hello, and he just loves to, like, vehicle wraps, that kind of stuff. He did Esser's Revive and Thrive is how I found him.
Yeah.
I believe.
You
Yes.
did our sign.
We
Yes, he did
snagged
your
them from
guys'
your
sign.
Facebook post. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I saw him, I'm like, hey, so very nice guy, wants to support the community. If anything, he's just like, no, I want to support you guys. So very nice. So we're excited to welcome number 301, and then hope to add on a few more for the rest of the year. So that is why we get donuts this morning. So please grab one on your way out if you're too shy to eat one here, because we have lots of donuts. But Trevor, do you want to come up and convince people to gobble wobble?
Sure.
Okay.
Grab a
Gobble
donut.
Wobble
and go
Thanksgiving
for a run.
5K happening on Thanksgiving morning. It's a really nice event. All money we raise for it goes towards Giving Tree. So if you would like to go for a jog, it's a run walk. You can bring a dog, bring the whole family. It's really fun. I've heard. The next day, 36 hours later, we have the Holiday Parade of Lights. That is really an awesome event that happens through downtown Perham. We're really excited about that as well. The Parade of Lights, it starts up at St. Paul's, kind of winds around Perham Living, goes by 1894. I think it cuts down by the firehouse, and it comes down Main Street. They turn all the lights off in town, and it's lit up by all the floats and stuff that we have. I think I talked to Tyler last week. I think we're at 15, 16 so far signed up. So if your business, group, organization would like to be a part of the Parade of Lights, let me or Tyler from what you know. I think you can sign up at perham.com. I think the sign up is all there. So we'll probably finish around 25, 30. Our goal is 25, 30 businesses, groups, organizations. Really nice way to bring in bring in the holiday. I put New Year yet. Bring in the holiday season and put your business and event and group out in front of And then after the parade, there is the lights and the pines is after that. So if you'd like to head out from here and go right to the lights and the pines. Last year, I guess it was a little cold, so it was a one event tonight. So this year we put in for good weather earlier, so it should be nice and beautiful out that Friday night. So that's Friday, Black Friday. So if you're downtown shopping, make sure you stay downtown and check out the parade. Any questions? Great, guys. Well, I expect a lot of sign-ups, so we'll see you at the parade.
All right, and then the Perk Events Committee, we are meeting on Thursday morning. So if you are a part of that group, please come on down. If you want to know more about that group, we welcome you to the meeting too. If you want to come check it out, we meet the second Thursday of the month in the basement of the Gathering Grounds. So it's just a group of business owners, managers, whoever kind of shows up that supports this group, the PEC committee it's called, if you've heard of it, called that. And then we just discuss how we can get people to come visit town, right? So Home for the Holidays, this is our theme this year. So Leah's done some fun designing on Candyland. So we're gonna have like a Candyland hunt for the kids around town. Let's see, Thursday the 4th, we're trying to organize maybe like a shopping night. So shops will be open late, maybe some daycare possibilities at the PAC, things like that to get people to get out and shop together. It'd be kind of a fun night. Possible hot cocoa, traveling hot cocoa, something. We'll figure it out on Thursday. And then the 11th, we're going to have, we like to host the Grinch at the Chamber. So this year, if the weather pans out, we're going to have a little fire pit outside in the Turtle Ring. So we have some decorations this year we're going to put up. So we're going to have s'mores possibly, pictures with the Grinch, that kind of thing. And then we're hoping for businesses to do like little pockets of fun around town, wherever it ends up being for families. So whether you want to have cookie decorating at your business, someone's done ornaments before, hot cocoa bar, things like that, and then we'll put it kind of on the path so that people know where to stop with their families. So we want to make it a night of fun for kids, and then the previous week was for adults for shopping. So that's kind of what's in the works right now. Thank you to all those who do sponsor. Not everyone's able to host events, but if you want to collaborate and go together with someone, please let us know and we will make that happen. But we do appreciate those dollars, which we use strictly for marketing and just getting the word out. We have radio advertisement, newspaper, that kind of thing. We just want to make sure we get people here to shop local and have some fun this holiday season. So that's our theme this year. We're really excited. Again, Thursday morning. So if you are interested in being a PEC member, please let us know and we'll fill you in with all that information. The only update about the city is quit asking about the road because there's a rumor. I'm going to say Tuesday, but there's a rumor it could be earlier.
It could be Thursday.
But I won't say that out loud. So we'll all be surprised if it happens before the weekend.
Yeah,
but they are going to start on that road soon. Hope so, because it's about to freeze. But and then we are going to celebrate because road construction will finally be done.
We're going to do a ribbon cutting.
Possible ribbon cutting for our road.
We've been talking about this road project for more than 2 years.
Long time. So we're excited for that to be over. The guys said they're sorry they couldn't be here today. They had a meeting. But anyone have any 30-second updates? Oh, next Power Hour, just to let you know, is at the high school next month. We do a big one for Christmas. So if you have any donations for like a Christmas gift you want to bring, or just drop it off at the chamber, we'll bring all that with us, and then we do big drawings, more than we normally do. It will be at the high school. We have the choir that comes, possible band, is band coming? I know the choir is, and then like all their special groups talk, like, I don't know.
BPA and
the special groups. Yeah,
industry
non-sport
classes,
related, at the other end of it.
School to work.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It was really fun last year. They really lined it up and filled up that hour. It possibly will be a little bit more than an hour just to prepare if you guys have to get to work. We'll start it right on time, but with the kids, we kind of let the kids go first so that they can get to school on time, which they're so appreciative of. But then we do the fun stuff after, like the gifts. So, all right. anyone want to share what they have coming up? That has not been able, holiday dollars, how much left?
Less than
5,000? So if you want holiday dollars, that program, if you don't know, it's basically 20% off. So the max is $500, you only pay $400. And then we have certain businesses, there's like 20 some businesses that you can spend those.
32.
32?
Yeah.
Oh, 32, that's close. But 20 some. It's on a sheet of paper. But anyway, that's been going really well. Should be sold out hopefully by tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be the fastest we've sold out ever.
Yeah. So if you want them, you can buy them after the meeting.
So
Quick.
next year's $1 million.
That's our goal.
Well, Trev,
The goal.
if
But
you
we
can
need
find
more
us a
sponsors.
sponsor that wants to give us like
How many
25,000,
businesses are here?
everybody's got it up there.
So yeah, it's $100,000 that we will sell in like a week, and then they have to spend that in Perham at those businesses before Christmas Eve. So it's just jumping our economy right there, just rolling through. So pretty exciting. All right, now does anyone have anything to share? Sorry, Elevate.
I know you're scared. Yeah, I was looking at
What do you got?
I'm good right now, actually.
Oh,
wow.
There's stuff happening, but
Sure.
group stuff.
Elevate is very busy, very popular. They run out of their brochures all the time, which is a great program. Great problem to
The
have.
pack contest doesn't like that.
The pack contest gets frustrating because there's never newsletters because they run out so fast. I know, it's wild. But that's growing and doing very well.
We've got elevators in our.
Very exciting. So you guys are doing a good job. Anybody else? Big sales coming up? Mark?
Plan things for the holidays and let us know.
Yeah, anything you have coming up for the holidays, send it to us early if you don't mind. We don't mind getting Christmas stuff, all of it, and then we can share it.
And we don't always need like the full graphic fancy flyer, just like as soon as you know dates, times, anything, send it to us. And then we can work on getting the rest later.
Yeah.
I have one thing for my shop. So we'll be doing our annual holiday celebration the first week of December. That'll bring about 400 people to town.
Woohoo!
That'd be fun.
Love it.
Quilters, so I mean, I'll go eat places. But
Right on.
Next Thursday is our open house at Mark's Fleet Supply, 3 to 7. If anybody wants to set up a booth, we can sell things, we can just promote your business that way. And then Friday, December 12th, the fourth Hades is at Mark's Home and More. Same thing. Yeah, from 3 to 7.
Anybody else? All right. Well, we will do some drawings. Did everyone sign up?
We forgot that. We could have like one for everybody. Just so everybody gets a gift.
All right. So, first one is to the Prairie Grill. Oh, you're the winner. How are you? Dan. Woohoo! So you get to go eat at the hospital. I had their chili yesterday. It's really good. The next one. No, she works there. How about some Pizza Ranch for Sue? Sue.
Nope, she brought us the gift card.
All right, let's do Lakeside. April. That's not you. April Hudson.
Just kidding. April.
Not this April.
I don't say.
Zorba's, one large pizza from Zorba's. Julie Lake. Congrats. Where's she at? She's back there. I'll put it right there. Let's do Prairie. Let's do the Prairie Grill again. Amy left. Sorry, Amy. Lisa Yonker. All right. I'll put it right up here for you. And then Perham Pizza Ranch, 2 Bacon Home Pizzas, Amanda Miller. So, come get your prizes. Make sure you grab a donut. Fill up your coffee mugs. Good to go. Have a good rest of your week. Thanks for coming. Do you guys have